My name is Jeremy Robbins. I work for New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, and I'm a policy advisor and special counsel in the Office of the Mayor of New York City. In that role, I direct something called the Partnership for a New American Economy. The Partnership for a New American Economy is a coalition of more than 500 CEOs and mayors who joined together to make the economic case for immigration reform. We started about 2.5 years ago looking at the immigration reform debate as one that was entirely polarized and broken, that on the left, people would talk about reuniting families. On the right, people would talk about law and order and amnesty and what part of illegal don't you understand. And there were two conversations that weren't meshing at all. The economic conversation was the one that was largely absent, but also the one that united people, that when you talk about should someone who wants to come to America, wants to start a company and hire American workers, should there be a visa for that person? Everyone agrees. When you talk about should we be training the top scientists and engineers in the world in our universities and then sending them abroad to compete against us, people agree that that's crazy. When you talk on the low-skilled end about should we have a farm and agriculture industry that depends on 75% undocumented labor and all the problems that brings with it, people agree that that's a problem too. But people want to have a farm industry. And so you talk about, well, what are the economic solutions? That's where you find middle ground, and that's where Mayor Bloomberg, as a mayor of the largest city in the country, the most immigrant-friendly city in the country, and certainly as a former CEO of one of the biggest companies in the country, that's how he sees the issue. And it turns out that's how 500 CEOs and mayors around the country see the issue. One of the most amazing things about being here at CES is that there is a bigger concentration of innovation than just about anywhere else in the world. And it puts our issue, the issue of the need for immigration reform, in very stark relief. Because you see that with 95% of the people in this world living outside the borders of the United States, there's a lot of innovation happening there, and a lot of it wants to be here. And so this is as much a fertile ground as any to really build on the movement to push Congress to act. Because the reality is, with the electoral math being so difficult to get the votes you need for broad reform, you need people to stand up, you need people to get vocal, you need people to be the face of immigration reform, to show that the face of immigration reform is innovation, it's jobs, it's workers filling gaps in our workforce, it's having a flexible, diverse workforce. And so the one thing that I hope comes of all this today is increased engagement by the CES community.